screaming pines. You ever notice how the woods sound different at night? Not quiet. Never quiet. They breathe. They creak. They whisper. And if you're not careful, they answer. Our story begins with Jamie. Not a hero, not some adrenaline junkie looking for trouble. Paula, just Jamie, an ordinary college kid. The kind who double checks locks before bed. The kind who Googles what to do if chased by a bear before going on a hike. The world is dangerous enough without tempting it, right? But Jamie's friends, Rachel, Marco, and Tyler, don't see it that way. To them, danger's part of the fun. And so they drag Jamie along for one last trip before the summer ends. One last hurrah before adult life sinks its claws in. The plan? A weekend of camping in the stretch of forest just outside their small town. A forest with a name whispered more like a dare than a destination, the Screaming Pines. At first it feels almost normal. A tank full of gas, windows down, music too loud, backpacks bouncing in the trunk. But names like that don't stick without reason. Ask around at the diner and you'll hear stories. How the trees moan in the night, how the wind in the needles doesn't sound like wind at all. More like voices. Jamie doesn't believe it, doesn't want to. Ghost stories are for drunks and kids, not him. He's worried about real things, mosquitoes, cold ground, maybe poison ivy. But when they finally reach the tree line, something shifts. The air feels heavier, the light dimmer, even though the sun still hangs bright above them. And in that silence before anyone says a word, Jamie hears it. A low, stretched sound rolling through the trees. Not quite wind, not quite voice. Something in between. Jamie forces a laugh, tells himself it's nothing. Just nerves. Just the woods being the woods. But deep down a thought lingers, sharp and unwelcome. The pines are listening. At first, it's perfect. A cheap tent, a little fire, a six-pack making the rounds. The kind of night that feels endless. They laugh, they sing, the flames lick upward and their shadows sway tall against the trunks. And the trees, they laugh back. Not an echo exactly, not natural. Like the sound went out into the dark, and something else threw it back. Jamie notices it first. When he laughs short and nervous, the echo comes back lower, hungrier. And when Rachel calls out, "Echo!" the forest doesn't just repeat her word, it adds another, "Stay." They freeze, then someone cracks a joke. Nervous chuckles all around. Acoustics, they tell themselves. Tricks of the wind, the rational lies people use to plaster over fear. But the forest feels different now. The trees lean closer. The fire spits and sputters like it's choking on its own smoke. The woods aren't just listening, they're answering. Marco tries to lighten the mood, tossing another log on the flames. Tyler mutters about drunk campers messing with them, hiding in the trees. They argue, voices sharp, too loud against the night. Jamie doesn't argue. He just keeps glancing over his shoulder because he swears the shadows move when he isn't looking. And then Alex, loud, fearless Alex, grins that reckless grin. He stands, cups his hands around his mouth, and lets out a scream, a big, stupid, defiant sound, just to prove nothing's wrong. But the scream doesn't fade. It grows louder, louder. A second voice tangled in it, a third, dozens, rising in pitch until it feels like glass cracking in the air. The campfire hisses down to embers, the dark rushing and thick and sudden. Then, silence, sharp, absolute, and Alex's chair empty, his half-drunk beer still sweating in the dirt. No footsteps, no rustle of brush, just gone, like the night swallowed him whole. For a long time, nobody moves. Jamie's heart thrashes in his chest, trying to tear its way out. Rachel whispers Alex's name like saying it will conjure him back. Marco's face has gone pale. Tyler fumbles for a flashlight with shaking hands. But the woods stay quiet, waiting, watching. And the pines, they start to whisper again. Panic erupts. Flashlights slice the dark, beams whipping wild across trunks that all look the same. No sign of Alex, no broken branches, no footprints in the dirt. Just that voice. Or voices. Their voices. Echoing back from the trees. Calling out, calling forward, rising and falling like a choir that doesn't breathe. Sometimes in harmony. Sometimes a ragged chorus of screams. Jamie knows what the others won't admit. The woods aren't just alive, they're hungry. And they've chosen. Rachel stumbles, sobbing Alex's name. Marco shouts into the night until his voice breaks. Tyler's flashlight flickers, then dies, plunging half the clearing into ink. And through all of it, Jamie just stands there, pulse pounding, chest tight. When Rachel grabs his hand, her nails digging crescent moons into his skin, she whispers what they're all thinking. Run! But run where? Every direction looks the same. Needles and shadows, shadows and needles, stretching into forever. No paths, no markers, just teeth, waiting to close. Jamie shakes his head, throat dry, but before he can speak, he hears it, his own voice, from somewhere behind him, screaming his name. It's impossible, wrong in a way that digs under the skin, because it doesn't just sound like him, it is him. Same breathless panic, same cracked tone, like someone scooped his fear out of his chest and threw it into the woods. The others hear it too. Marco goes rigid. Rachel gasps. Tyler mutters, "That's not real. That's not real," like a prayer. But Jamie feels it pulling him, an invisible hook lodged deep in his ribs. Do you follow yourself? Do you trust yourself? His feet move before his brain catches up. One step. Two. The trees close in, swallowing the light. Rachel screams his name, her real voice this time, raw and terrified. He doesn't turn back, because the voice ahead, the one that is him, sounds desperate. It sounds like dying. And if he doesn't follow, if he doesn't try, he'll never forgive himself. So Jamie runs, straight into the dark, and the pines open wide. Branches whip Jamie's face. Roots claw at his ankles. He doesn't stop, can't stop. Behind him, his friends' screams blur together, first sharp, then muffled, then gone. One by one, swallowed until only his own echoes remain. And then silence. Not the peaceful kind. The kind that hums in your bones like the world is holding its breath, waiting for something to break. Jamie staggers into a clearing. The moon drapes it in pale silver, but the ground, oh God, the ground is wrong. Too soft, too uneven, like it's been turned over again and again. He shines his light downward, the beam trembling in his hand. Shoes, backpacks, scraps of tents half buried in dirt. The woods keep trophies. Jamie's breath rattles. He drops to his knees, dust clawing at the soil. Fingernails catch on nylon fabric, on leather straps, on bone, polished smooth. A sob rises sharp in his throat, but it catches before it can escape, because then he hears it again, his own voice. Not from across the clearing, not from the trees, from right beside his ear, hot and close though no one is there. Stay. Jamie jerks, flashlight whipping through empty air. Nothing. No one. Just the echo of that word burrowing deep, wrapping around his mind like vines. The beam falls on something at the far edge of the clearing, Alex's jacket, torn, stained. A few yards beyond it, a fresh trail of broken branches leading deeper still. Jamie lurches toward it, heart slamming, but his legs shake. Each step feels like wading through syrup, the forest pressing down on him, whispering, "Stay, stay, stay." Behind him, another voice rises, Rachel's, thin, desperate, calling his name. For a split second, hope flares. She's alive. She's here. But when he turns, the clearing is empty. Just trees, just shadows, and the echo of his name curling back to him, warped and wrong. Jamie drops the flashlight. The beam rolls wild across the dirt, illuminating those scraps and bones like an exhibit in some terrible museum. His stomach knots, his throat closes, because he understands now. This isn't just hunger. The woods don't kill, they keep. By dawn, the woods look almost normal again. Morning light drips through the branches, painting gold across the undergrowth. Birds chatter, the river murmurs, the world pretending nothing happened. But when a pair of hikers stumble on the campsite, the truth shows itself. The tents are shredded, canvas hanging like skin off bone. The fire is nothing but ash and cold stone. Backpacks gutted, beer cans crushed flat. No sign of Jamie, no sign of Rachel, Marco, Tyler, not even Alex. Just absence. The sheriff comes and the deputies. They take photographs, bag evidence, ask questions they already know the answers to. Another group gone, same as before, same as always. The locals shake their heads, whisper in the diner booths. Another group swallowed by the screaming pines. Happens every couple of years. Always has. Always will. And if you don't believe it, if you think it's just talk, stand at the tree line yourself. Wait until the wind shifts. Listen. What you hear won't be birds, won't be branches. It'll be laughter, bubbling sharp as broken glass. It'll be screams that don't fade but circle back, crawling into your ears, into your chest. And if you're unlucky, if the forest decides to notice you, you'll hear something worse. Your own name. Carried back to you. The screaming pines don't echo. They remember, and they're always hungry. If you made it this far into the story, thank you for listening and for surviving with me through the dark. If you enjoyed this tale, please give the video a like. It helps the channel grow and brings more people into the circle. Don't forget to subscribe for daily content. Every day, a new shadow, a new whisper waiting for you. And hey, share this with someone who loves a good scare. Maybe they'll hear the pines calling too. Thanks again for being here. Another story is waiting for you, recommended on your screen right now. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Sleep well if you can.